What happens if a young man who lives an unclear life meets a woman who is older than him? The man is well cared for, but in the end he forces the woman to do something shocking. Well, the plot of the film with the title, which was released in 2017, we will start soon. The film opens with a woman named Lynn. She works as a flight attendant at an airline. She has worked there for a long time and is no longer young. On one of her flights, she meets a woman who is experiencing severe pain in her stomach. After being examined, it turns out that the woman is pregnant and about to give birth. In that emergency situation, Lynn and her colleagues helped the delivery process until the baby was finally born safely. When she saw the baby, Lynn felt something so deep, as if she was looking at her own biological child. It is known that Lynn is a widow who still maintains a good relationship with her ex-husband. However, until now she has not been blessed with a child, something she really wants. To fill the void in her life, Lynn often visited nightclubs and met random men, then invited them to her apartment, and you already know what happened. Because of that, Lynn sometimes had to wake up late to go to work. One morning, on the way to work, the car Lynn was riding in hit a young man. She felt guilty and met the young man. Lynn took him to the hospital, and they got to know each other. The young man was named Nick. He had an injury on his hand. Lynn waited outside until he fell asleep, but she was confused when the doctor woke her up. Nick had already left there. Lynn herself turned out to be homeless, and she lived unclearly and had to live under the road. After that incident, Lynn was curious about Nick. She tried to find him. Not long after Lynn met Nick again. There Lynn tried to find out more about Nick. Who exactly is he? Still young but has to be a vagrant. They walked together. Even Lynn was invited to test his courage by walking on the railroad tracks. Lynn, who was not used to it, certainly felt afraid if at any time a train passed by. Lynn had an old mother. She had to make time to come there, just to visit her mother. But actually there was one thing that made her uncomfortable. Her mother always asked when she would remarry and have children. Of course that question made everyone uncomfortable, including Lynn. When at the station Nick was seen waiting for someone. But not long after she went to the toilet followed by an old man. Nick was forced to do that in order to survive. Meanwhile, Lynn thought more and more about Nick. Even when she came home from the flight, she invited Nick to meet and eat together. Lynn felt comfortable with Nick. They also met more often, to the point that Lynn bought Nick a new shoe gift. Since being with Nick, Lynn felt that they had a spiritual bond, and considered Nick as her own child. She even did not hesitate to take her to her apartment. There Nick wanted to ask for more, but Lynn refused because she already considered Nick as her own child. But when Nick came home, his friends came to him. They were jealous seeing Nick could have new shoes and intended to ask for them. Nick refused, and there was a fist fight between them. Sometime later Nick met Lynn again, and Lynn was sad to see Nick's bruised face. Lynn was also invited to come to the place where Nick lived. Lynn felt concerned. This place was dirty and not worth living in. Lynn then invited Nick back to come to his apartment and stay there. That night, Nick wanted to invite Lynn again, but again Lynn refused, because he really considered Nick as his own child. Nick, who was annoyed, finally decided to leave there. In the morning, Lynn returned to work, but he started to think about wanting to live a relaxed life with the person he loved. Lynn decided to quit work, even though his boss tried to ask Lynn to keep working. But what could be done? This was Lynn's decision. After that, Lynn came back to Nick. He invited him to move to another country, and prepared the files for him. Everything is ready. Nick is invited back to stay at his apartment and will leave tomorrow morning. But for some reason Nick changes his mind and leaves from there. He chooses to live in this city as a vagrant, while Lynn still decides to leave there and live his life in a new country alone. And the film ends.